consistency is key, which is why your routine is the secret to long-term success. If you lay down a brick every day, then it will be 7 bricks in a week, 30 bricks in a month, 365 bricks in a year, and 3,650 bricks in a decade. And it's also known as the compound effect. So the small things that you do every single day, they will add up and then create your personal tower of success that will eventually outgrow the tower of anyone else. Now, important in this context is that high performers are results-oriented and goal-oriented. That means that high performers do not necessarily work more, but they work more effective than the average person. They eliminate the bullshit, they eliminate the low-value tasks in their life, and they do the same 4 to 5 tasks that actually matter to accomplish their grand goals over and over and over again over the months and years to come. In other words, high performers have a fantastic routine, and this routine gets them closer to their goals every day. And this routine makes sure that they stay in physical and mental top shape. Now, that said, in today's video, I want to give you insight into my personal routine as a neuroscientist and a high performance coach, and I will explain the scientific reasoning as well as my personal reasons of why I do what I do. Now, we'll cover the things that I do to maximize my performance, health, and brain health. I will walk you through my entire daily routine, morning to evening, to cover my lab work, academic work, how I run my coaching business, how I create content for you guys, my nutrition, physical exercise, how I manage friends, family, and the ladies, leisure, etc. Now, there's always a way to improve your routine, and I don't claim that my routine is perfect. However, by watching this video, I hope you can take home some valuable insights and protocols that you can use as an inspiration to create your own high performance routine. Now, that said, please take a moment to smash those like and subscribe buttons so that we can build an army of high performers and neuroscientist enthusiasts together. I would appreciate it. Now, my name is Nicholas. I'm a neuroscientist, dementia researcher, as well as a high performance and flow coach. And this is how a high performance routine looks like. Alright, I will now walk you through my entire day as a high performance coach and a neuroscientist, and I will give you the reason why I do the things I do, hopefully for you to get inspired and to find things that you can incorporate into your own routine as well. Now, I currently work every day because I love it and I want to get shit done. And while I do that, I also make sure to have a self-improvement focus. In other words, I am to be at least 1% better every single day. And the reason I do that is because high performance is a lifelong game. And generally what you find is that the best of the best, they push themselves. They push themselves every single day to be a little bit better. They are obsessed with what I do and obsessed with becoming better. And that is what I strive to do as well, knowing that, also as a high performance enthusiast. And I hope that you have some aspiration to be a little bit better every day as well. Once again, the goal is not to be perfect tomorrow, but to be a tiny bit better. And if you keep doing that, it will add up. 1% better every day means that you are 37 times better in a year. So keep that in mind. That said, what I do, like probably all of you, is get up in the morning. So I used to get up very early, in fact at 3 a.m. in the morning to go to the gym. But I've noticed that I'm actually a night owl, meaning that I'm at my mental and physical best in the evening and night hours. So instead of forcing myself to do things in the morning, I now decided to just skip the morning entirely and just skip the worst part of my day, basically. And I will now get up at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Now, that said, the first thing I do is to hydrate myself. Now, I get a big glass of water, which is around 400 milliliters, and I chase this up with a coffee, another 400 milliliters. And I always put a little bit of sea salt into my coffee. Now, why sea salt? Because your brain and even your muscles need ions to function. You need a little bit of sodium, magnesium, etc., potassium. So you need electrolytes in order to absorb your water. And personally, I could actually really feel the difference. If I don't get my salt in, then I feel dizzy, I feel lightheaded, and especially in the gym, I feel weak. And whereas when I get my salt in, I think faster. So just try it for yourself. These are things that every endurance athlete knows. Every endurance athlete knows that drinking water alone isn't enough. You need electrolytes in order to absorb the water properly and again for optimal muscle and brain function. Another thing that I want to mention here is coffee. Now, there are a lot of things about coffee. One of the things to mention here is that coffee works best, so it has the strongest effect, the strongest arousing effect, when you take it between 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. in the morning. And that is because your cortisol levels, as you get up, they rise slowly, they peak early in the morning, and when you drink coffee at the time when this cortisol peaks in your body, then the effect of caffeine is best. And it seems that cortisol level usually they spike between 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. in the morning. So if you drink coffee, again, that's an ideal time to do it. Another thing you can do is to delay your coffee a little bit, 1 to 2 hours after you get up. I don't personally do it, but I've learned from other experts in the field that this can prevent an afternoon slump. So sometimes you drink coffee and then you get the dump. So if you drink your coffee 1 or 2 hours after you get up, you can avoid that. So this is something you can personally test. I don't have a problem with it. Coffee is a great thing, generally because of the fact that it increases dopamine in your brain. So it releases a little bit of dopamine, like 30%. So 30% increase in dopamine. That's why you feel nice after drinking coffee. But that's not the special thing. The special thing about coffee, what makes it stand out, is that it increases the amount of dopamine receptors in your brain. So if you drink coffee, it increases the dopamine D1 and D2 receptors in your brain. And what this will do is make it easier for you to get into flow. Now, flow is this state, this peak performance state, in which you're so deeply focused and immersed in what you do that you forget everything else. And in flow, your performance is increased by 500%, your creativity by 430%, and many more things. That's what I coach my clients for, to get into this ultra productive and fulfilled flow state. And coffee makes it easier for you to get into flow. Because believe it or not, the key to get into flow is dopamine. You need the release of dopamine in your brain to get into flow. And with coffee, you increase the amount of dopamine receptors in your brain. That means that you become more sensitive to dopamine, so it's more easy for you to actually get into flow. And the strategy I like to do is that I increase my coffee a little bit, so I scale up from maybe 1 spoon of coffee to 2 spoons of coffee over the course of the week. And on the weekends, when I decrease my coffee intake to 1 spoon again. So this way I pretty much use this dopamine receptor increasing effect that only dopamine has, that only coffee has, sorry, to my advantage, to increase my focus and to make it easy to get into flow. That might be a strategy you can try. So just scale up the coffee intake over the course of the week and then reduce it again on the weekend. And only use coffee for mental work and don't drink it at any other times. Anyhow, next on the list is a cold shower. After I have my coffee in, I get a quick cold shower. And again, like coffee, cold shower increases dopamine in your brain, but cold showers are also special because I do it slow. So if you get a cold shower, your dopamine slowly but surely in your brain increases over the hours, and it increases to 250% of what it was in the beginning. Just for reference, sex gives you 100% increase in dopamine, And freaking cold showers give you 250% dopamine increase, and it stays like that for hours. And the effect like that is that you not only feel amazing, but dopamine is also the motivation chemical. So you will feel very motivated and in the mood to push after the cold shower. And all of the dopamine, of course, it will also make it easier for you to focus, because that's another effect of dopamine. It makes you more focused, and it's easier for you to get into flow this way. And yeah, that's what I do. So basically, immediately jump into my work. Now, you might think, Nick, where's your breakfast? And my answer is, there's none. My plate is empty because I faced. Now, generally spoken, the reason why I faced is because it keeps my energy levels on a so it keeps it consistent. Because what can happen when you eat carbohydrates is, of course, that you get tired, as you would suggest. Uh, Generally spoken, if you eat sugary foods, you obviously might get a blood sugar crash. But the main reason why food can be problematic is that carbohydrates actually increase the amount of serotonin in your brain. That makes you sleepy. So you could either eat low carb foods in the morning and afternoon, which is what I would recommend, and that's what I recommend to my clients, because low carbohydrate foods, once again, they prevent the serotonin release in your brain. That's how you stay alert and focused. Or you just fast, like I do. Typically, I like to fast until 4 p.m. in the afternoon, so very long, which is one of the best ways to focus, in my opinion. Once again, try it out. It works phenomenally for me, so I can pretty much stay focused the entire day without any energy slumps. And fasting has other benefits. The best thing you can do for your brain is fasting, in fact, believe it or not. So don't eat, because fasting, it releases neurochemicals like the hormone ghrelin that circulates in the body. And believe it or not, ghrelin is actually the main hormone that is neuroprotective, that protects your brain during Parkinson's disease, for example. So ghrelin has many beneficial functions. It improves your memory, and it even protects your brain from damage. So once again, one of the best things you can do is just fast. All right, so I got up, I hydrated, I got my coffee, I got my cold shower, and now I'm crushing it. I'm working. Now, generally what I do is that my day is always pre-planned. It's always pre-planned the day before. So always note down my top 3 goals of the day. 1, 2, 3. And what I also do along with that is that do self-improvement journaling. So always the day before, always think about what went wrong during the day, what went well, what more wins, what were lessons that I learned, what are things that I can do better the next day. And these are very important things because once again, you want to make sure that you're 1% better every day, and having some sort of journaling is very important. That's what I also recommend my clients, in fact. So every single one of my clients does some sort of self-improvement journaling. Now, if you want to have some additional information about how to journal best, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I'll make a separate video for you. Now, that said, what I also do in the morning, just before I start working, is a little morning affirmation. So I'm pretty much on a post-it. I note down who I am, how I act, and I visualize. So I visualize how I feel during the day. What this means is that in my specific case, I affirm that I'm a high performer, that I'm a hard worker, and that I love the challenge, and I love the feeling it gives that I get when pushing, when accomplishing more, achieving more. So I pretty much program this into my mind with a so-called post-it method that I also teach my clients. That's part of my course that will come out soon. So once again, I will put you the course details, in fact, in the description. That aside, if you want a video about the post-it method and how you can reprogram your mind for success, let me know. Anyhow, all of that said, let's get started with work. And what I do with work is that I usually either do lab work or I do academic work. So that means writing Monday to Friday. And nowadays I build up to the level that I do this for 6 hours non-stop. Once again, I don't eat, so I have my water obviously, but since I'm facing, I don't need to eat, so I can 100% focus on my work. And I always do my most important tasks of the day first. Again, I've set 3 big goals the day before, and in those first 6 hours of my day, I knock out everything that must be done to accomplish these 3 goals. I'm very selective. I don't allow any distractions, no emails. I don't talk to other people. I don't check my freaking phone. So I don't even care about my phone. I don't know what's happening around me. All I know is that I have 3 freaking goals and I have 6 hours in which I knock out every single one of them. Now, what I generally recommend is that you have 2 to 4 blocks of flow blocks, which I call it, of 90 to 120 minutes a day. And if you can do that, if you have those 2 to 4 flow blocks a day of 90 to 120 minutes, then you pretty much classify as a high performer if you use these to work uninterrupted on the most important tasks that you need to do to accomplish your goals. Now, what you find is that as your focus gets better, as your ability to get into flow, so this brain state in which you're so deeply immersed you forget everything, then your work actually becomes slightly addictive over time even. I love the feeling I get when I do academic writing, for example. So I've been writing a publication. It's about a drug for the treatments of Alzheimer's disease. And honestly, it's crazy. I've been thinking about how to make more time so that I can write longer than 6 hours. That is how crazy flow can be. That is how crazy it can be when you get this ability to focus on your work and to enjoy it. So once again, these are all things that I teach in my new course that's coming up. So if you're interested in that, again, feel free to check out the description to see if it is interesting for you. That aside, just to give you the statistics, most people, the max they can do is focusing 17 minutes a day. That's what the freaking statistics show. So that's why when you can focus for at least 2 flow blocks of 90 to 120 minutes, then you already classify as a high performer compared to the average person. So definitely that should be the goal, guys. If you get this down, if you get your 2 to 4 blocks of 90 to 120 minutes with specific selective work in which you do the most important tasks of the day, then you will crush it. Now, of course, working 6 hours nonstop is difficult. It takes a while to get there. It took me many months and years to get to this level, basically. So what you will find is that the energy levels will slump. So you will have an energy slump every 90 to 120 minutes. In fact, that's why the blocks are 90 to 120 minutes. And what you should do is a brief recovery period in between. So you have the first flow block, 120 minutes. Then you have a quick recovery block, maybe 10 minutes, in which you do something that's not stimulating your mind. So no phone, no emails, no YouTube, no Netflix, nothing. You do just something that's not really, that's not engaging for you. In other words, it's not mentally engaging. So what I do, sometimes when I feel the energy slump, if it's getting really hard and I just can't focus properly anymore, I just stare at the wall. I stare at the wall for 10 minutes. As stupid as it sounds, that's one of the best things you can do to recover. And after 10 minutes, you will notice that your energy levels will come up, your focus will come up again. So all you need to do is just relax, stare at the freaking wall for maybe 10 minutes, and then continue. And don't allow yourself to be distracted. Other things you can do is just walk around a little bit for 5 to 10 minutes, etc. Or maybe even close your eyes and have a quick nap for 5 to 10 minutes. Those are all things that I personally do to keep going, to keep pushing. Now, alternatively, if I do lab work, I obviously need to get to Lancaster University, to the campus. And if I do that, then I will also additionally read in the bus. I have a 30-minute drive to campus, so of course I use that time to read. Generally, if future success is your goal, then you should do some sort of self-improvement every single day. And in my case, it's again just reading things that I am personally interested in. For example, I've recently read a book about persuasion, very interesting. But once again, it can be anything that makes you personally better and is beneficial for your goals. Now, after I have my 6 hours of work done, what I do next is have a little mindfulness walk. So just have a walk without any music for 30 minutes. So I go outside and enjoy the sun. That's usually at around 4 p.m. In fact, what I've learned from Andrew Huberman, he's a Stanford neuroscientist, is that viewing sunlight at around 4 p.m. it reduces the sensitivity of your retina. And what it does for you is that in the evening, for example, when you watch Netflix, etc., then it reduces the negative effect Netflix has on your sleep and on your dopamine release the next day. Because what you need to know is that if you watch Netflix from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in this period, so if you watch bright lights in this period, you not only disturb your sleep, but you also reduce your dopamine release the next day, for the next days, in fact. So what it means is that your motivation will drop the next days. You will feel sluggish. You will feel like someone pretty much smacked you could say. And if you want to avoid the negative effects of that, then once again, just watch sunlight at 4 p.m. Ideally, you also watch it early in the morning to wake up, but this will be something that is beneficial for you. And the mindfulness walk itself, it also is for stress. So having a walk is one of the easiest ways to reduce the amount of stress hormones in your body. So it allows you to flush out norepinephrine and cortisol and all of the other stress hormones that cause anxiety and again cause your thoughts to go wild. So I do that every single day. I always have a mindfulness walk, and that's one reason why I'm always in top shape. So again, make sure you have some sort of distressing routine or some sort of distressing method in your routine as well. Now, after I've done my walk, food is next. So I cook dinner. Now, cooking is actually my hobby, and I recommend that you have some form of hobby in your day as well, because it should not be about work. It also needs to be about enjoyment, because what you do must be sustainable after the years to come if you want to be successful. Now, personally, I love buying foods in the supermarket, so I just look at whatever's on sale, and then I just throw it together and create new recipes. Now, that said, I do have a meal plan, so I do check what I want to cook in advance, and that is to reduce cognitive load, because food actually stresses me a lot. So the more you have to worry about, the less capacity in your brain you have left to focus. So I don't want to worry about food the entire time. I want to focus on my work. That is why I think about what I do, what I cook in advance. I buy my stuff. Again, I make my meal plan, and I'm sorted for the week. Don't need to think about it anymore, but I can enjoy cooking, and I get my enjoyment out of the food I cook. I also sometimes just recook what I see in cooking videos, which I watch for enjoyment in the evening normally. And I also eat out once a week. So I simply try novel dishes that I find in restaurants. And yeah, to get more inspiration. Also a fun thing. And don't mind my powerlifter portions, because I'm actually trying to get stronger in the gym. And I had to eat over 5,000 calories back then. I'm getting back there. So it's all about getting back the strength that I've lost. Anyhow, I normally also watch a learning video with dinner. So just switch on, it could be a podcast or whatever I'm currently interested in, what I want to learn while I eat my food. always have a trusty notebook here. So after my dinner, I just make a few notes, and that helps me again, gives me my daily portion of learning. So as I always have some form of learning in your day, as I told you, because it will be beneficial for your future progress. After dinner, what I normally do is check my emails. I do it, yes, but I only do it once a day, and I do it after dinner. And along with checking and responding to all of my emails in one go, I also check social media. So that's actually the first time I switch on my phone. Believe it or not, I don't care about my phone at any other time. And it just helps me again to keep my mind free and focus on what actually matters to me personally and my goals. Now, after that, I usually have another flow block. So maybe another 90 to 120 minutes of deep work. And that said, after this block, I sometimes also schedule chats. So I chat with my friends basically. Now, generally, I have Skype with my parents once a week, a Skype session. I always make sure to catch up with my parents. You need to look after them after all. And I also schedule Skype sessions, or maybe I meet friends here and there, normally in the evening, but sometimes I also do it alongside the week. For example, I actually met someone I met on LinkedIn, a good friend from LinkedIn. I met him here in town this week. Funny enough, he was actually coming by, so we had a nice chat about our work. Or maybe next week I will actually meet someone from a course that I've attended, a neuroscience course, a friend from there. Yeah, and it's just in order to stay in contact with people, because we are a social species. Our brain is so much bigger, it's twice the size of that of animals, because we have additional structures for socializing. We also get oxytocin, from interacting with other people. And again, oxytocin is the hormone that makes us bond, that's responsible for empathy, and oxytocin even releases dopamine in the brain. So nature even rewards, so reward chemical dopamine, it rewards you for interacting with other people. So if you think you're a lone wolf, no matter what you do, you always need to make sure that you have some sort of relationship, friendship, etc. going, because that is also one of the fundamental needs that we humans have. We humans want to feel loved. We want to feel recognized. We want to have stable bonds with other people. And if you ignore that, then you will not be at your best. You will not be a high performer if you are a lone wolf. Trust me. And I say that even though I am an introvert. That aside, obviously, I'm a guy. I also have dates here and there. So if I meet a beautiful lady, if it clicks, then I obviously get her phone number and ask her out directly. And when I have the time, then I will do so happily. Now, that aside, back to the overall routine. I generally work on publications or do lab work Monday to Friday. And Saturday and Sunday, I focus more on the business. So that's when I have my one-to-one coaching with my clients. And that's when I make videos for you guys, like this video right now. Now, I also am working on my new high performance course that is coming out in January 2022. So you're all welcome to join this course. And it's for those guys of you who want to become the very best. So if you look, once again, I give you additional details in the description. But if you are eager to accomplish new goals, to become your very best self, and if you want to have a neuroscience and psychology backed approach to become your very best, send me an email, hit me up. I will give you a discount in this course, and you really cannot lose, guys. Honestly. Anyhow, at 9:30 p.m. usually, in the evening, I go to the gym. So I'm actually a powerlifter. I do it 3 times a week, full body training. So do all of the many things like squats, bench press, deadlifts, etc. And my goal is to get strong as fuck, simply put. Now, I lost a lot of strength actually due to lockdown, so I easily lost 40 kilograms on my squats actually, and I'm bulking my way back up. And I recommend anyone to have some sort of physical activity. Ideally, you have both strength training and some sort of endurance training. Now, strength training, actually, you should do it, especially if you're a guy, because it releases testosterone. So, a good training session increases the testosterone levels in your bloodstream. So, obviously, you want that. You also get growth hormone or growth factor release from your bones related to strength training. Strength training reduces the risk of diabetes, which is a risk factor for Alzheimer's, by the way. Reduces the risk of osteoporosis, so it strengthens your bones. Of course, you build muscle mass, and muscle mass means that you can eat more. It increases your general base metabolism, and there's also the fact that the more muscle mass you carry, the healthier you are. So it's not just about being stronger, it's also about being healthier. Because guess what? Even lifting your arm needs muscle mass. So everything you do basically is improved by having more muscle. Now, personally, I must say that I should do cardio, but I currently don't do it to make it a bit easier for me to get my freaking 5,000 calories a day in. But I used to cycle a lot, so that was definitely a hobby of mine, and I will reintroduce it as my goals change. But for now, my goals are to get strong as fuck. First, to get back to where I was, and then to pack on another 40 kilograms on my squats, bench press, and deadlift. Anyhow, what I usually do after the gym is have another snack. So I actually love dark chocolate, always have that lying around. And finally, believe it or not, I relax. So 2 hours before bed, I just do whatever I want. There are no rules, and could be things like watching videos. What I do, for example, what I really like is again watch cooking videos or just watching a series I enjoy. Now, all of that said, what I'm really looking forward to is getting back to my freaking guitar back there. Now, I postponed it because I had so much other things to do, but it's on my list, it's in planning, and I will enjoy it. And finally, of course, the day will end with sleep. Now, I always sleep 8 hours a day. I actually try to get in 8 hours and 30 minutes a day. And it's recommended that if you want to be at your very best, if you want to be a peak performer, you should sleep 8 to 9 hours a day. No less than 7 hours, because that is actually proven in studies to reduce your performance. I will say it again, 5 hours of sleep equals drinking 5 beers before work. And if you're drunk, then you obviously don't get shit done. You don't get anything done, in fact. Just as a general side note, what you should do to improve your sleep is again avoid too much bright light in the evening, but also have a fixed routine. So just have a calming ritual. Maybe brush your teeth, maybe read a book just before you go to bed. You could do a meditation practice. Whatever it is, just have a fixed routine that sets your mind up for sleeping. And lastly, all the general rules that you should have a dark room. Ideally, a slightly cool room because your body needs to cool down for you to fall asleep. Then you want to have your exercise. So have your exercise during the day, which will help you later to fall asleep. Try to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. And you should also, when you eat, your last meal of the day should contain carbohydrates because now you want the serotonin release in your brain to calm you down and to help you improve your sleep. And that concludes the video. So as always, thank you for your time and attention. And if you enjoyed the video and if you want to support the channel, please like, subscribe and share the video with your friends and those who could benefit from it so that we can build an army of neuroscience and high performance enthusiasts together. I would strongly appreciate it, guys. Also, I'm curious, how does your daily routine look like? Let me know in the comments. It would be awesome to discuss. Now, I'm sure you've heard the saying, consistency is key. And it's true. It's what you do day in and day out that adds up over time, as I said in the beginning. So, with a great routine, high performance, you will build your own tower of success that will eventually outgrow the tower of anyone else. Now, that said, have a routine worthy of the high performer that you are, and I will see you in the next video.